Hi y'all, I'm back today. Sorry about the squeaky chair, but I've got another project share. I've made another lace book. This is another one with the Bible verses in it. If you're interested in those Bible verses, do check out the previous video, and the link is below it, and I will try to remember to also add that link to this video at the bottom in the description box. The images are bought from a lady on Etsy, and she has done some marvelous work. Most of these images were bought from her, but there are a few that I did get off of Pinterest, so that's also that's the remaining ones. This is a lace book that I just because I have it now and might be uploading it when I do does not necessarily mean that I finished it this quickly. The books that I make do take about 2 weeks for me to make, I realize, and there's a lot of detail to them. A lot of work goes into each page, and usually I can only get 1 or 2 pages done a day, to the point that I can, start another page. So, but I love doing it, and so I want to show you this one. The exterior of this book, I have added quite a bit of pink to this one. I had found, I'm going to be using this a lot, it was a bed skirt, and it's in a silky pink and cream, my favorite color combination. And after a quick wash, I just let it dry naturally and left it the way it was. I didn't try to iron it because I was pretty sure it would melt. But it was a beautiful piece even before I washed it, and then it brightened up quite a bit, and it was really, really pretty. So I used that as the foundation for this swag, adding a few layers of laces on top, some dangles decorated around the image, and then some pieces of a necklace I have put on here. Lace all around the edge. There's the what do we call this part of the book? Can't remember. Oh well. Some velvet flowers out of the same fabric that I covered the book with. And there's the back. In the first 2 pages, one thing I did a little different in this book that I had not done before was to add this little trim right here. It's a little rosebud trim. I added a bit of that on every single page, and I thought that was real cute. Since I was using pinks, it worked out beautifully. These images really lend themselves to this particular color trim as well, and they worked on every single page. These gorgeous images I'm going to use many times, I can tell. I already used them, I think, 4 times now. And each time I use them, it's different. I don't always cut them the same or anything. I always do something different. I can't do the same because there's too many vintage laces and trims. I don't choose the same thing for every one of them. Again, that little trim here, and I did it on top of some looped lace. That's a vintage lace here. All my books are a combination of old and new. Bits of wedding applique here and here, and then just different trims and dangles. A piece of a beautiful old crocheted, and actually that one may have been knitted. I see a lot of knit and purl right through here, so this one actually may have been knitted. That's what it looks like to me. But gorgeous trims. Cut up some of them to make them real delicate as they hang and dangle, because we all love dangle. This is for a very special lady. She has cancer, and she'll be receiving this soon. After I do this video, I'm going to add a bow to it. I see I forgot my bow, my satin bow. I'm going to add a bow to it to tie it together from the front and the back. Pardon me. And I'm going to pack it up, and then I'm going to go to the post office and get it in the mail. So before that, I just wanted to put it on tape real quick so that everybody could see it. I've also used a combination of pinks that I dyed. One lot, which includes this piece around the edge here, is avocado dyed, and the other one is this pink down here, which I used Michelle Pipeling's recipe of RIT dyes. It's a combination of a pink and a brown, and that's the difference in the two colors. One is brighter and one is more muted up here. A lot of my trims I bought from Tresors Deluxe, and they have become some of my very favorites. I keep going back. I think I've gone back 3 times to her for that same trim, and I use it frequently. It's just so beautiful. It adds such a touch just to use a few inches of a trim like this to a picture, a photo. Again, the little trail of rosebud trim, a bling that is gorgeous. I wish I could get my hands on more of those. They are just gorgeous. If anybody knows where I can get those, please let me know. I am at a loss. Whoops, sorry, I'm dropping everything, and I just knocked the ballast off my tripod, so if it falls, we're going to have to quit. Let me see if I can get that back. Sorry, I'm jiggling you. If I don't put that right back up there, the camera will fall. I'm trying to reach a little package over here and see if I can't get the name of where I got that. That trim. But I am not seeing it, unfortunately, where I can reach it. And no, there's not a name on the package. I can't recall. It's Amy Love, and I cannot recall the name of that store that she has. When I locate that, I'm going to put that down below. She's got some really beautiful trims and a really neat store, and I know I got that one from her. I'll need to ask her if she's going to be getting any more of those back, because I love this one. Anyway, there have been a number of people that I have gone to for laces and bling and different things, both on Etsy and eBay, and then I'm finding, most recently, I'm finding a number of stores that are not Etsy and eBay. So I am enjoying shopping other stores now too. So, excuse me. It is early to me, and I have just woken up. This is the first thing I wanted to do today, was to get this off in the mail. So I'm kind of rough in the voice today. Sorry about that. Let's see if I can get my hands open here. Oh, there it was. This is an interesting duet of pages. The two of these were probably some of my favorite images in this particular book. And then decorating these 2 pages was a lot of fun, because I added quite a number of little pinks here and there. Some beautiful eyelets on both the upper left and bottom right edges. Excuse me, y'all. I don't wake up easily. And then some rows of AB rhinestones on these little pieces of appliques. And around this particular photo, y'all might be familiar with, there it is, with this trim down here. I'll show you a little bit of it right there. I snipped a few of these pieces off of a piece, and then surrounded this photo with the dangles. I just used those as an edging. So don't be afraid to cut up your pieces, y'all, and make other things out of your dangles or your trims. Cutting it, I used 3 pieces. Here's the piece that I cut the dangles off of. Using them up here, I put them in between a row of 2 that were attached, and use this now as an applique and let the dangles behind it show with a little tiny doily edge, and then I've folded over and gathered piece of beautiful, I don't know what to call this, a netting piece, I guess. It's new, it's not vintage or antique or anything, but it does really work well with the whole page. More of that rosebud trim here and here. Vintage and antique laces tucked in here and there. Some really pretty examples of doilies. There's a pineapple hanging down there. And some vintage lace down here. And then the last 2 pages. I got out the wedding trim this time. This was the hem of a wedding dress that I really particularly love, because it's the one that has this gorgeous, I don't know if this is a taffeta or a satin or what, but the sheen on it is just marvelous, and I have used every bit of this dress to great advantage because there's so much detail and beauty in that. Same edging I used on the previous page with this eyelet. I gathered it as a really wide base to it, and so I just snipped it off to the width I needed and then just gathered it. Some more of that avocado pink right through here, going around the photo. Another gorgeous piece. Here and here are Tresors Deluxe. Beautiful bling, which I think was also Tresors Deluxe. Flat back pearls, little pieces of pearls buttons that I found. More of that trim with the rosebuds, all circling around this last page here. And then just snips of different types of trims placed here and there as appliques. If I didn't want to use all of a certain piece, I always keep the little snips that I've cut off, because I can and will be using them somewhere else. And the different tones, I don't know if y'all are able to tell on the video yet because I can't see the video, but I use a lot of the different tones from bright white. Sometimes I don't go quite that light, but this one is from bright white, which these pieces have not been dyed at all, to slightly dyed, which I can get with tea, to darker stains, which are coffee dyed. I love using the combination of all of those, plus the different pinks. And then the vintage laces along with new pieces. Like the ruffle is new. Some of those braids on the edges are new. And I can get a really beautiful effect using all those different pieces and putting them all together. For those of you who may not have seen the previous book that has the Bible verses in it, I want to add here that the book that I made previously and this book and a couple of others that I've made have been because of a ministry that has kind of landed in my lap, and I want to tell you about it real quick. I'm going to be calling this the Helen Ministry after a friend of mine at church who has fought cancer now for 7 years. The Helen Ministry actually started about a year ago when I met her, and I took on the responsibility of praying for her every day. It's not a responsibility I offer up to people lightly. It is not a responsibility I take on lightly. When I tell people I'll pray for you, I mean it, and I will do it. Yes, there are certain days I might forget specifically to pray for a certain person. I'm not perfect, and life does get busy sometimes. But more times than not, I'll pray for somebody multiple times during a day, because when they come to my mind, I will stop and pray. And this little book is for another lady who has come across my attention, and I've gotten to know her. Excuse me. And I pray for her as well. I call these ladies my cancer ladies. That is not a trivial way to call them, but when I tell my husband what I'm doing, and that this is for one of my cancer ladies, he knows exactly what I'm talking about and what I'm doing. And I'm curious to see if any of y'all will join me in being part of the Helen ministry. And this isn't a challenge or anything that I need you to send me anything or do something and then show it on YouTube. This is a call for those of you who are the called to use your crafting skills to make something beautiful and to give it to somebody with either cancer or illness of some type, those who have lost a loved one, those who are in mourning. The Bible teaches us to encourage others, and this is just my way of doing an encouraging thing. Some of you may be talented in writing letters, cards, making beautiful cards. I know there are beautiful cards that rival these things. And if you're able to craft something beautiful, I'd like to know if y'all would join me in the Helen ministry and just do something pretty for somebody that needs it. Brighten their day. So with that, I'm going to stop the video. Tell you all thank you for your lovely comments, because you brighten my day, and I enjoy showing y'all things that y'all might be able to not only enjoy and see the beauty of, but y'all have shared so much with me on your videos on how you do things, on things that you might have thought of. I want to share it back with y'all, what I've learned. And so all together we can make the world a prettier place, a better place, and encourage others along the way. And so that's my message for you today. I hope that God will bless each one of you. And thank you so much for watching and for your lovely comments. It's been so nice to get to know y'all. Take care.